couple of conversations I need to have. My first with you, Mrs. Walker. Ms. Walker, you have to control yourself, okay? You cannot have these outbursts that you're having. I'm trying very much not to pay attention to you because I fear that if I pay attention to you, that I will draw attention to you that I don't want to draw, okay? The jury is watching. You need to control yourself, okay? If you cannot control yourself,
Sorry,
Miss-
outside.
I understand, Ms. Walker, I understand. Ms. Walker, I understand. Listen, Ms. Walker, I understand that this is highly emotional for you and there's a lot of emotions going on with you. But I am requiring for you to control yourself. If you cannot control yourself, then I will have to use other means, and I do not want to use those means to control you, okay? So you're gonna have to control yourself. All right. So a couple of things I want to talk to you about before you take a lunch break. And before you go on a lunch break, it probably will be good for you to have a little lunch. Everybody have a seat. Let's have the arguments.
Yes, Your Honor. The people would be asking for the defendant to be remanded today for 60 days. Then we'd ask for 1 year of supervised probation with a mental health evaluation and substance abuse evaluation. We'd ask for the defendant to comply with the recommendations from both evaluations. The defendant's behavior since the verdict over the last 15 minutes has been very concerning to the people. The defendant, I heard her say she said fuck, shit, goddamn 1,000 times, not 1,000 times, but probably close to 100 times. She was yelling in the hallway. I asked counsel if they needed assistance with the deputy to help keep her under control. They said they didn't. She called the victim a bitch. She said, fuck that bitch. She also said, thank God my mom isn't here because I would have killed that bitch. The defendant's disrespect for this court and lack of remorse is concerning for the people. The victim is concerned for her own safety after this verdict. And so we'd also ask for a no contact order between the victim and the defendant. We are very concerned for the victim's safety and for the safety of this family.
Okay. And then what's her criminal?
Controlled substance F4, and I think she has a couple of misdemeanor convictions within the state. I can pull them up real quick, but I looked at them earlier today.
All right.
She has several charges for. Sorry, let me look it up.
All right. And Mrs. Taylor, did you want to address the court in any way as the alleged victim? You can come on out. The deputies are here, so you're safe.
Honestly, I just want my sister to get help. I don't want in contact with her or have her in close to my home or anything like that. I just want her to get help and to stay away from me and from my home and from my children, including my niece who's been living with me for 3 years.
Okay. And how old is your niece?
She's 19.
She's 19.
Well, she'll be 19.
She'll be 19.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And in terms of what you know about your sister, when you say she needs help, does she have like some mental?
I think it's undiagnosed, honestly. When she's not in this state of mind, she's like this sleeps person, but then
Yeah.
she just, anything sets her off and it's a nonstop situation of calls, voicemail, text messages, not only to me, but to her own daughter, degrading, disrespect, threatening my life,
You need to be quiet.
disrespecting, threatening our lives, threatening my children's lives who are 8, 7, and 2. I work from home and my husband's always scared to even leave because then it's like, how am I supposed to protect when I'm not there? So,
Yeah. Okay.
so that's what we're at.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. Mrs. Jacobs, your argument? Mrs. Walker, I'll give you a chance to talk when I get there.
Okay, we'll get there. So Ms. Walker's been working at In and Out for about a year and also works at the Hilton. So she's working 2 jobs right now. She's been doing the Hilton for a couple of months.
Uh-huh.
And she's still experiencing homelessness, but she's been trying really hard to get back on her feet. In and Out is willing to transfer her and help pay for moving expenses. So she's been hoping to keep up working both jobs for a while and she's been saving. Because she does want to move away from this area and move away from the troubles she feels she's been experiencing with her family. It's my understanding that In and Out gave her the okay to move anytime, but she's been staying because she's been wanting to get this case resolved. So she's really hoping to get out of the area to be able to get her life on track, away from her family and kind of start over. And jail would set her back in that progress that she's been making.
Mhm.
I also believe jail is not warranted. I understand the jury found her guilty, but at the end of the day, this case was about a voicemail. She's not charged with and not convicted of a violent crime. And it seemed to have arisen from an argument over her daughter's care, who is now 18 years old and a legal adult. So I believe conflict over her daughter's care is unlikely to repeat itself since she's legally able to care for herself. I did not hear her say anything, any kind of threats about killing her mom, and I was sitting there in the hallway with her. So I don't know if she misheard it, but I don't think all of that was accurate.
Okay.
We are asking for a year of unsupervised probation with the mental health evaluation and treatment, which was the last offer on this case. And I believe based on our investigators' conversations with Ms. Taylor and with Ms. Walker's mom, and based on what Ms. Taylor said, I think help is really what her family was hoping for. So I think mental health is more appropriate. I believe asking for jail at this time after we went to trial is something of a trial tax in this situation. And so we are asking for just the probationary period and the mental health evaluation.
Yes, Your Honor. I just pulled up the defendant's record. She has two guilty pleas and violation of protection order in two different cases. They were felony cases, but they were reduced down to violation of protection order. She also has a guilty plea to an M1 menacing, and that's what I could find. I also heard the defendant say in the hallway that if she gets supervised probation, that she's leaving the state.
Okay, all right. Mrs. Walker, anything you'd like to say?
I just think it's a bunch of BS because I called DHS and they were the ones who told me to keep calling until you go home with your daughter. I just got into a car accident September 1st. I found out that my Medicaid was out. So I needed my daughter's birth certificate, social security card, which my mom should not have had in the first place. I only gave it to my daughter so that she could get a job. That is the reason why I was calling. I was not calling for any other issue, not that I had a problem with her. I was specifically calling for my daughter's birth certificate and social security card. My family has been taunting me with my child for years. And they are doing that so that I can't spend time with my child. So they keep putting me in a worse situation. I just got a car. That's why my sister's here. Because in February, she's texting me. Oh, sorry. In May, let me sit next to you. My daughter's graduation, she sat right next to me. And she's here in August. So she was never scared, never afraid. They've always been in my face. It is me against them. And they are taunting me so that they can keep me away from my child. And I'm fed up with it. They have allowed my daughter to disrespect me. And when I go to them about it, it doesn't matter. But as soon as my daughter disrespects them, it's game time. So they allow my daughter to disrespect me and thought it was funny. That's what she's talking about. They're sitting up there right next to my daughter while she's calling me bitches and this and that because she's upset. And they're just laughing. We'll just see what she does. I called my sister specifically to get my daughter's birth certificate. Sorry.
She can't answer. There's my
To get my daughter's birth certificate and social security card so that we can get her Medicaid. Someone had just T-boned me, and I did not know that we did not have insurance. And I couldn't afford insurance at the time. So I slept in my car from September to November in pain with nothing. I couldn't even go to the doctor. So I'm working in pain after a car accident. I had no car, no nothing. So it was up to me if I was just gonna sit there and die or get up and do something. And they keep taunting me. Every time I get a little bit ahead, let's do something else. Let's do something else. Let's do something else. Let's do something else. They had a graduation party with my daughter's father in May?
Yeah.
They got it all on Facebook and everything like that, trying to taunt me. That's not okay. You're starting more problems. You're not scared. If you're scared, then you're scared. How are you scared and starting more stuff? And then I just seen them at Burlington. My mom was like, Chelsea. I turned my back towards her. She called my name again, and I gave her a hug. But it's lies. She's just here because she's not having a good day. But this happened in September of last year, and I've talked to you multiple times since then. So that's not okay to me.
I understand.
And I went to DA before I even called her phone. I was calling DHS like they have my child. They're not answering. Every time I need something important for my daughter, they like to ignore me. It could be simple as a doctor's appointment. They will not budge. They will not budge. So I feel like, why does my daughter, that's why I said I wish my daughter was with DHS in that voicemail. Because I wouldn't have to go through this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go through hoops over doctor's appointments, Medicaid, and all that stuff. My daughter's just living there. She still doesn't have health insurance. They're not doing anything about it. So if something happens to my daughter right now, who's going to pay for it? She is. She's
All right.
my daughter's.
Okay, Miss.
Because they won't allow, you know what I mean? They're blocking, just hiding. I'm better. I don't know. It's just.
I understand, Ms. Walker. This is the thing. I really had hoped, hearing what the offer was unsupervised probation with mental health. I really wish you had taken that offer, because I do think you need some treatment. But the problem that I'm having with you, Mrs. Walker, is a couple of things.
Mhm.
I watched you during this trial. And I think I had to admonish you during this trial about the things that you were saying under your breath and the things that you were being aggressive about.
Yeah.
There was a concern. And how you were doing yourself a disservice in this very trial.
Yeah,
Fine,
because
you're
I've
mayor.
been through a lot this
Ms. Walker, I'm talking
tired,
now.
I'm just tired of it.
Ms. Walker, I'm talking now.
Mhm.
And I understand that you're tired of it. But there's a way that you have to respond. And there's a way that you have to act.
Like I just had
That
someone
allows you
respond.
to not have to have police interference.
Mhm.
And the problem is, not only in that voicemail did you talk about your daughter, but you also said some things about wishing harm on people and wanting to continuously,
But what is
essentially,
to me?
Miss Walker, you're the one on trial. They're not. And that's the problem, is that I don't think you have any understanding of what your actions were and the ramifications of your actions and how your actions has caused distress on your sister.
Well, I
Okay,
can tell-
Ms. Walker, I'm not gonna be interrupted again. If you wanna interrupt me again, that's fine. I'll have you removed from this courtroom and I'll sentence you without you being present. And then your lawyer will have to come down to the jail and tell you how much jail I gave you. But do not interrupt me again. This is the problem, Ms. Walker, is you need help. You need anger management, you need mental health. I don't know if substance abuse is your issue or not. I really don't know, but I don't think it's a bad idea for you to do a substance abuse evaluation because maybe your mental health is tied to that. I don't know. But what I do know is I do think it's appropriate for you to do some jail. And I'm concerned that after you were sentenced, I'm not upset about the fact you being upset. A lot of people would be upset that they were convicted of the charge that you were convicted of. The problem that I have is that the words that you said after you were convicted and the statements of potential threats to other people again. And so that tells me that after you have gone through a trial of a full day where you were accused of threatening your sister, that you didn't really quite get anything from that experience in terms of remorse. And so I do think it's appropriate for you to do jail. I am gonna put you on supervised probation. I think it's appropriate to put you on supervised probation for a year. I am gonna require a mental health evaluation for you to follow recommendations of that evaluation. I'm gonna require a substance abuse evaluation for you to follow recommendations of that as well. I do think it's appropriate for you to do anger management course. In addition, I am gonna give you jail. I am gonna give you jail of 20 days.
Well, I'm gonna lose my job. I just got my car. I'm gonna lose that. It's fine. And I'm homeless. I
Listen.
don't have anybody else to help.
I understand that, ma'am.
So I'm gonna lose everything and then I'm gonna be out and
I
then
understand
nothing's
that.
gonna change.
I
You guys are
understand.
putting my daughter in a worse situation now.
I've given you the sentence.
I know, but what I'm saying is,
And you work
For
in-
this
what,
even start-
Ms. Walker, I'm asking you a question. I need you
Yeah.
to stop interrupting me.
Mhm.
What days of the week do you work?
I work, it's random.
It's
Work
random. Do you work full
Sunday,
day? Are you a full-time worker?
I work 32 hours at In-N-Out and then 12 hours on
So
the,
then this is my question to you, because I don't necessarily want you to lose your job. I'm willing to give you that time as weekend jail, but you're gonna go into custody.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't. I
And
just
so
don't
I don't know if
understand.
you can do it on the weekend and you don't work Friday, Saturday and Sunday, but you're going into custody, ma'am. If you want to do a portion of it as in-home detention, I'm amenable to that. But I think you need to do some time.
I don't, because you guys don't
Well,
understand.
then I'm not
I just
gonna
have to
debate
say
you.
one thing.
So it's gonna
No, I
be
just
20
want-
days in jail. I'm not gonna do weekend jail anymore. I'm not gonna give you that
I
option.
just wanted to say
And now
something
you're
because
gonna,
I'm always being treated bad, okay?
I'm not treating you
So
bad,
this
ma'am. I'm
is-
trying to have a conversation with you. And I was trying to work it out.
To-
I was trying to work something out with you so you didn't lose your job. And instead, what you want to do is continue to interrupt me and tell me about how you're a victim.
No,
What I
I'm
was
not
trying
saying
to-
that I'm
what I
a
was
victim.
trying
I'm
to
just
do,
saying.
ma'am, What I was trying to do was give you an option so that you didn't have to get remanded today. And you're not giving me that option. So I'm taking away that option now, remanding you for 20 days. When you get out of custody, you report to probation within 24 hours. Supervised probation for a year.
Wait, hold it. Your Honor, Ms. Walker does want to appeal this case, so under, Rule 37F and 16-2-1146, we are requesting a stay of execution on.
She can have a stay of execution, but she's going to jail today for how she behaved.
So, Your Honor, hold on a second. I don't think you could just take her into jail today for how she behaved. What's the basis for that?
The basis is her behavior and the way that she behaved in this courtroom and her lodging threats afterwards. So I'm absolutely taking her into custody.
I don't understand though. Is this a new?
It doesn't matter if you don't understand.
I think
I'm
we-
finding her in contempt of court.
I just wanted to say.
And so I am taking her into custody. I also am concerned for the victim in this case and the witness. Potential witness was gonna be Vanessa, who is the mom, who she made a threat against in the hallway. So I am taking her into custody.
Give me just a minute, Your Honor. I think there's a record that needs to be made about the contempt situation. I'm just pulling up my documents on that.
We can address this on Friday. I'm gonna take her into custody. We can address your record in terms of contempt on Friday at 8:30. But I'm taking her into custody.
No, Your Honor, I think, hold on. Let me just find it.
I really want to avoid jail. It's just not, it's not gonna work.
I just literally had someone file a false police report of me last week.
Ma'am, I want you to get help. I really do.
Saying that I literally was doing that thing, okay? I'm homeless, so on my days off, I go get a hotel when I can to sleep. Because I get tired of sleeping in my car.
I really wanna help you.
So what I was doing, all I was doing was taking a picture of myself. Someone called and said that I pushed it. So the cops came
I
out.
put it on Thursday at 8:30. That's closer.
And so I've been dealing with a lot of this. And what I'm saying is that my stepdad has also lied to the police in my face. While the police were there, and they didn't charge me, they told me I have to stay, that my mom could not put me out for another 30 days. Because they didn't see any of the things that's happening. So what's happening is that I'm being falsely accused of a lot of things that should not be right. Like, she shouldn't have my daughter.
Ma'am, I'm not here to discuss your daughter. I'm here to discuss the conviction that you just got.
Exactly. So what I'm saying,
Outside of my courtroom.
I just don't think that this is fair.
I
I just don't
understand.
think it's fair because I've been going through a lot
I
and
understand.
it's just me.
Your Honor,
I understand.
which element of?
It's just me by myself working 2 jobs, trying to stay off the streets. And you're trying to put me in a worse situation.
Ma'am, you have an attorney. I'm asking you to not speak anymore. Ms. Jacobs?
I'm just, like, Your Honor, can you make a record about if this is a direct or indirect contempt and which statute you're doing it under?
Or can you please just give me?
I'm making it a record that this is indirect contempt.
I can't, you know what I mean? In and out's a good company and I
I had already acknowledged and had admonished her prior to the jury being dismissed or after the jury was dismissed for lunch about her behavior. She continued to make threats to have inappropriate behavior outside of the courtroom. She has interrupted this particular court when this court has asked her to
I said
please
that.
stop. She's still interrupting me at this very moment.
All I said was that.
And so the court has tried over and over again to work with Mrs. Walker, and Ms. Walker is not doing it. And so the problem is that we're having here is that she is continuing to defy the court's orders. Court's orders to continue to be quiet. I've asked her over and over again not to speak. She is in direct violation of the court's order to be quiet, to have decorum in this courtroom, and she is not having it. So I am finding her in contempt of court. And I am taking her into custody. We can bring this back onto the docket on Thursday at 8:30 to discuss her sentencing and the continuation of her sentencing and your record for appeal. But I am finding her to be in contempt.
I have no one else to take my card at the.
Yep. Until Thursday. On Thursday, we can argue bond.
This is not fair.
What Thursday, what's the last thing we have on Thursday?
This is not fair.
I believe, Your Honor, under the indirect contempt statute, you have to make a separate citation, and the person has to get a special hearing for that.
Well, then I'm gonna make it direct contempt then, because she is in direct contempt. I have told her over and over again to stop arguing me, to have decorum in this courtroom, and she has not had it. So let's do it at,
So I'm just, I don't know.
Yeah, she's been directed to.
Because.
so let's say, ma'am, deputy, you have her vote. I will make it in my record. I am not gonna continue to be interrupted. She's
No,
not
I'm just saying, I'm gonna lose my jobs and I'm.
Ma'am, and I am aware of that, and I tried to work with you. We are done. Let's do it at 10. 10, she's gonna be held with no bond till, we're gonna have a reset on the docket at 10 o'clock on Thursday. We'll have a bond argument, and we're going to discuss the rest of her sentence. Perhaps after having some cooling off period, we can have that conversation. Yeah,
So just like, you're gonna repeat it on Thursday, or what do you?
no, I mean, this is the thing. It's the same sentence. It's gonna be the 20 days. It's gonna be the mental health. It's gonna be the substance abuse. It's gonna be supervised probation. It's gonna be anger management. That sentence has happened. I stayed that sentence because she's pending appeal. What we're gonna discuss on Thursday is whether she continues to stay in custody based on direct contempt,
Okay,
and allowing you to make a barn argument about that.
I think we can't represent the clients on contempt proceedings.
Okay.
I believe we'd have to appoint ADC.
All right, I'll have somebody here for ADC.
Okay. Are you just gonna appoint them, or?
Houston's here on Thursday, so I'll have Houston do it.
Okay, should I file something, or you just appoint him?
No, I was gonna appoint him.
Okay,
He's here at 8:30, so let's just set her at 8:30. Cause we'll lose Houston. And we're done.
Thank you.
All right. Ms. Graham, you might wanna make, Ms. Taylor aware that there is a process to get a temporary protection order if she feels like she
We'll let her know.
has a situation.
Thank you.
Her and her mom. All right, first thing recess. I was gonna appoint you to Mrs. Walker.
Yeah.
On a contempt case. I took her in because she directly violated, she was sentenced yesterday, no, 2 days ago, Tuesday, she was convicted on a harassment case. I had sentenced her to 20 days of jail, anger management, mental health evaluation, substance abuse evaluation, and supervised probation. And then I also want to add on there that there was no contact with the victim. She's not alleged, she was convicted. with the victim on that. I stayed that sentence because the PD's office is, appealing. But her contempt sentence, I was trying to get to, and she wouldn't stop talking and having issues. So I just took her in on no bond, set her today this morning to talk about the contempt sentence, and to potentially talk about, bond. Apparently, she refused to get dressed, refused to follow directions, and threatened the deputies. So that's why she's not here today. So she'll continue to stay on a no bond, and perhaps tell her and advise her that as she continues to threaten people, those are charges that potentially could be served against her, and she could go to additional jail. And she's still pending a competency or a contempt sentencing.